Welcome back. It's been a hot minute. It's weird. You take 1 week off, and it feels like I've been gone a month. I mean, it's been half a month. It's been 2 weeks since I was last on here building keyboards, but we're back. Today, I am very pleased. Dude, Duck, it's good to see you, my dude. It's been a minute. Congrats, by the way. Duck Detective started a store, dinokeys.co, and I'm super psyched about that. Good place to get Durock stabs. I might be shopping there for that. And also mint switches. I don't know if those are back in stock yet, but as soon as they are, I will order some. I'm very excited. So good to see you, dude. Appreciate you being here. I am building the... Okay, well, I mean, I know you're involved, so I'm out here. Boys support boys, you know? So, but we're building the Stellar65 from Space Cables. Now, ordinarily, I would already have opened this and checked it out to make sure the PCB works and everything. But I have never seen packaging this nice on a keyboard at this price. There was good packaging on like the Epic and a couple other things, but this thing, let me check what I paid for this. It was not a ton. It was Stellar65, 180 bucks for this guy. So, I mean, it looks like an Apple product. It's really pretty. Space Cables, Space Holdings, I think they also go by. I'm not sure which to call them. They also have a fantastic... Oh, where did it go? Oh, here it is. I got a lube station from them that I used to lube the switches for this build, and I like it a lot. It holds the switches so that you can pop the tops on while they're still sitting there, and it holds way more than my other lube station. So my only complaint is that it's so flexible that when you're pushing down on a switch on the edge, it'll bump up the middle. But the easy solution is just to add a couple rubber feet to the outside edges, and then there'd be zero problems at all. So 10 out of 10 would recommend this lube station. If I could change anything, I'd maybe take out the stem holders here and just cram in more slots so I could do like a whole batch of 110 in a single go. But I mean, that's just nitpicking. Uh-oh, my audio's glitchy. Is it... Here, let me pull up the stream, and then let's do some troubleshooting on the air, because that's what professional people do. Twitch. What's my Twitch? It might be because I'm plotting Chia, and my CPU is very involved in that in the moment. That's bad. Hold on. Let me reboot my audio interface real quick. Okay. I think the music player went bad on us. Or something did. Let me reset the music player. I think it was the music player. Did that work? Okay. I think that was it. All good? Once the music comes back, we'll see. It's gonna be loud. Hold on to your butts, folks. We'll turn it down. It is kind of glitchy, isn't it? Alright, well, we'll just keep the music player off and see if that fixes it for now. Regardless, you're not here to hear me talk. We're here to build a keyboard. So let's bust this bad boy open. I think it is my CPU being slammed by chia plotting. Let's check my CPU usage. What's it at? A lot. It's very high. Well, in fact, I can show you. Where is it? Oh, did Streamlabs freeze? There it is. Whew! Okay, sounds good, Duck. Yeah, that's a big oof. Well, we're just gonna have to take that L. Because I don't think I want to kill... Well, maybe I will. Python manager.py stop task kill -f -pid 6584, and we will also kill 16472 and also 15896. Okay. Well, I don't know if that helped at all, but anyways, that's about all we're gonna get done for right now. Let us not let this detract from how beautiful this keyboard is. It even has a magnetic flap, which again is something that I only saw on the Epic. But, okay, it's still a little garbled, that's alright. This is, dude, okay, this is beautiful. It's a stacked acrylic style frosted build. It even has all the layers like cling wrapped in place. This is beautiful. I'm a fan of this. Yankar Design, I believe they did the gingham and the barley corn, if I'm not mistaken. We also have some hardware and a build guide, as well as some stickers. I do collect stickers. I think that's it. Beauty! Well, ladies and germs, let's begin with testing the PCB, because that is the part that I want to make sure I get right. So let's put this knife away before somebody gets stabbed. And this loop station. All right, put the hardware here, and let's get this PCB out. Ooh. Ain't she a beaut? All right, so I'm gonna pull up VIA, which has a switch tester here. And then we'll plug this in with a spare USB-C cable that is hanging around. It did enumerate and it blinded me. Excellent. Let's grab our testing tweezers and... Oh, cool. It's responding to... Oh, it comes up as Nebula 68. Interesting. I wonder if that's the board name. Yes, that is at least printed in this on the board in the silk screen. Very cool. Insert, page up, page down, delete. Now this is a VIA compatible board, so We should be able to reprogram it easy peasy. Squeeze the lemon. So far, we're batting 1,000. Now there is no stepped caps lock. That's fine. We can live with that. Up arrow. Oh, it looks like that. Make sure D worked. Oh, there we go. Great. Z. Apologize, this is a fairly boring process. I like to do it before I solder something in. But I can unsolder, but you know, I don't want to. Oops. Space. Okay. Control, I'm assuming this is a function key of some kind. And it does change the LED color when I hit it. Not that that necessarily means anything, but we take those. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is a fully functional PCB, and we're going to play it as it lies. Now, this is the solderable version. I don't believe they had a hot swap version, but I can check real quick. I have their page pulled up. Yeah, nope, solder only PCB, which this is formerly a group buy, or not even. It was cool. It just like showed up in stock, and they were like, "Hey, we made a board, come buy it," and I said yes. So that was pretty neat. It was in stock for a while. I kept checking in just to see. So it seems like a decent amount of people had enough time to get their hands on it. But all that said, let's put some stabs on this guy. Like I said, someone's gonna get stabbed, and it's gonna be this PCB. So let's bust out our boy Matt, the grubby Matt. And I think today I'm feeling cheeky. I'm feeling like using some C3 stabs instead of Durox for no discernible reason, just cause. And I think purple would be a tasty color to go with this build. So let's grab some purple stabs. These do come with the stickers to put down on the PCB. Let's see. So that's kind of nice. Don't have to cut up a Band-Aid today. You know how much I hate doing that. It also comes with these O-rings, which are nice for keeping the metal of the screws off the back of the PCB. So we're gonna grab those. We're gonna grab some wires. I also have my lube tools, and we'll get that done in a jiffy. Should be real quick. Let's go with the purple wires too. And this is indeed a 6.25U setup. So we'll need this wire, that wire, get 3 more purple 2U wires. Once again, folks, I apologize for the audio on this. It sounds fine on my end. I didn't even notice until it was pointed out. So, RIP your eardrums. Okay. I should see if the actually, if the music is glitchy. That would be an interesting test. Hold on. Let's try it. I don't know why I'm still dinking around with this, but because I'm like 80% sure that it is the the CPU usage. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow, Tuneless. I appreciate it. It's kind of you. Really helps the channel out. All right, let me confirm. Is the music glitchy or is it just my voice? Or can you even hear the music? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. This is clearly a very professional stream, and I don't want anyone getting the impression that it's not. I know exactly what I'm doing. How's it going, Tuneless? What you up to today? Oh yeah? Where are you from? Turkey, right on. I'm from Bozeman, Montana. But I actually have some friends who have been to Turkey before and very much like it, so. I've heard nothing but great things about the coffee. And yeah, just they really like it, so that's cool. Istanbul. I don't know where exactly in Turkey. I think it was more like they went on like a tour, you know, like visited a bunch of places and so. But yeah, Montana is very much very far away from Turkey, that's for sure. It's, you know, the center of innovation and technology in the Western world is Bozeman, Montana, you know. That's not true. That's a joke. But there actually is a shocking amount of tech here for how small it is. For a town of like 50,000, 60,000 people, I think. I don't even know how many we have now. But there's a lot of technology happening here, which is cool. Happy to be a part of it. Alright, I think this only requires 5 stabs, which is good because that's what a kit comes with. So once I get these lubed up, we'll pop them on the PCB and then grab the plate so we can solder on the switches. I'm sorry, yeah, I've been having some audio issues tonight, so it's really crackly and garbled. I'm not really sure why. I'll have to do a test stream at some point when I'm not plotting Chia and see if that helps. I wonder if it's clipping. Right now, I am lubricating the stabilizers. So the longer keys need a stabilizer just to keep the keycap from rocking back and forth. So I like to lubricate them a little bit so that they're nice and smooth and they don't make a ton of rattly noise. So Nice to meet you too. It was nice chatting. Have a great day. Hope you get some sleep. These are tight. What is going on with the music player? It's weird. I can't hear it anymore. Huh. Everything's going wrong today. But you know, that's the name of the game. Monitor and output. Okay. Does it work if I go back here? I have no idea what's going on my own stream. That's fine. Okay. We just gotta finish these stabs. Oh, it's really staticky. I just pulled up the stream. It is the music player. I just closed it. What on earth? Alright. Well, so far this has been a solid 30 minutes of unlistenable content, and I apologize for that. As I try to force this stab wire where it does not wish to go. There we go. Much better. Let me grab a paper towel. Gosh. Alright. The audio sounds a little better now. Like, the vocal audio. Oh, never mind. Alright, well, I'm gonna stop futzing with that or I'm gonna lose my mind. I wonder if my, I've been suspicious that my audio interface has been dying for a long time because I have to keep rebooting it and it keeps doing weird stuff. And I'm wondering if its day of reckoning has finally come. I would not be surprised if it just croaked on me. And I honestly don't know if I'm going to replace it with the same thing because it was very expensive and has more channels than I really use. So I'll probably not. We'll just get a small boy like another Focusrite Scarlet. It's probably for the best. I don't know why, though, that doesn't explain why the music sounds so crunchy and it just turns into static. Maybe it's Streamlabs. Maybe I just need to reboot. Maybe I just need to get good, as the kids say. Alright, we got 3, almost forgot a step. 3 stabs down, 2 to go. One of which is the 6.25U long boy. And then it's time to install these and do some soldering. That's my favorite part. I love me a good solder. Just a good stress relief, you know? All right, that's all the schmo boys. We just gotta do a big boy. Someday I'm gonna be coordinated enough with my own schedule to have this done before stream, but today is not that day. All right. So we got a bunch of C3 purple stabs done. Chuck this bag and that bag. So now we just gotta install them on our PCB, which is easy enough. Lube out of here. Take a swig. And then let's grab this guy. So first step will be installing these stickers. These are going to help with reducing contact between the bottom plastic and the PCB. Keeps lube off the PCB, which doesn't really matter, but also does a tiny bit of dampening, which is handy. You can also use band-aids or tape, something of that nature. It works pretty well. So, yeah, just chuck these on here. So we have backspace, enter, both shifts, and the space bar. That should be 1, 2, 3, 4, and we missed enter. That's where it is. 5. I say we as if you are complicit, but it is just me that missed that. Unless you're like, this is like a Dora the Explorer type of interaction and you're screaming at your screen right now as I'm messing up, which may be the case, but I'm still on the hook for this. Now, the next thing is the screws. Which also comes with some spares, which is nice. I think, unless they just heat sealed incorrectly and I have either more or less than I should have. We'll see. And the O-rings. So we will start with the spacebar stab. Because these are PCB mount, they get installed before the plate. If they were plate mount, they would not. I'm sure that's fairly straightforward and obvious, but you know. All right. Got our spacebar stab. Now I will put a switch in and test just to kind of exercise the demons a little bit before we go full platey boy. Or really before I solder. And I might even, sometimes I'll just solder those 5 switches and test them out real quick, because desoldering 5 switches is much easier than desoldering 65 switches or 66, depending on the board layout. What's interesting is that the board name, like the PCB, says 66, I believe. Yes, Nebula, or 68, Nebula 68. But the product is the Stellar65. I think what happens there is that there are 68 keys, but it's considered a 65% size. It's a little weird because a full-size keyboard has 204 keys. It's almost an exact match between percentage and number of keys, but it's not quite. So a 60% keyboard has more than 60 keys. And a 65% has more than 65. So it's a little annoying, but I don't know. What you gonna do? Take away 5 from the 100%er for 4? They would riot. Don't upset the 100% keyboard community. They have it hard enough as it is. Constantly running out of desk space. Never able to find keyboard kits. It's a rough life. All right. 2 more stabs to go. And it looks like we will need those extra few screws on the other side. What a bizarre way of packaging them. Wonder how that happens. Okay, that is flush. Okay. That is flush. We need 2 more rings. Unless this is... Oh, it is one whole section. Never mind. I'm stupid. And we need 2 more screws. So they gave you 1 spare. Very cool. I would hope with parts that small you would, but it's always nice to see. Because you never quite know. Alrighty. Cool. 1 for 2. All right, great. Dunskies. Let's put the extras back in here. I'm sure they'll be handy for when I throw away a screw on a future build. That was doing in the shot. You know what I realized is that the sound test is going to be scuffed, which is a bummer, because I'm excited about these switches. It's okay. Let us get the plate out of here. Now this is all stacked acrylic, meaning we'll have to glove up so that we don't leave fingerprints. But let's just grab. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. There are 2 plate layers. Huh. I've never seen that before. I guess it makes sense. Well, having said that, let's peel the bottom one, because I think I might solder in the test switches just before I put before I test their sound. But, and you know, to be honest, since it's frosted acrylic, I may not glove up. I think if it was clear acrylic, I definitely would if it was. But I think since it's frosted, fingerprints are less noticeable. I'll just need to make sure that I wipe down the layers. I think what's more likely to happen is that I'll have a finger covered in lube that actually leaves grease on it, which then makes it less frosted in that area. I'm guessing that'll be my crime for this one, but also I really hope that the audio that I am recording locally to post on my YouTube is fine, because that would be nice to at least have a good sound test from this whole kangaroo court that's going on right now. What am I doing? I always do stuff off camera, and I need to knock that off, because how is it going to be helpful to anyone? Maybe it's more helpful if they can't see what I'm doing. Hide my shame. I'm just peeling a sticker off of acrylic. I mean, it's not rocket surgery. This is very interesting. It's like a partial plate that's a bottom layer that will then have a full plate on top of it. Pretty cool, if you ask me. You know what I think we should do? I think we should have like a movie club on this channel. You know what I mean? Like a book club, but for movies. I've been thinking about that, because there's a lot of movies that I like that no one's ever seen, or not enough people have seen, in my opinion. And vice versa. I've just missed stuff. So, we should have like a movie of the week. And this week, pop quiz is Tremors. I know that's a very popular movie, or it was. So it's not like an obscure indie flick, you know. But I just recently rewatched it, and I forgot how much I liked that movie. Kevin Bacon trying to kill a giant worm in the middle of the desert. I mean, come on. What's not to love? It's a classic. So, that's your pop quiz. But I think it'd be fun to like watch a movie every week and talk about it while I do super boring stuff like what I'm doing right now. You know what I mean? If you have a suggestion for a movie for the Interloper Movie Club, let me know. And I will, pending approval, add it to the list. Next week, watch Ghostbusters. I don't know. Something from the 80s. There's a lot of good stuff from the 80s. Jurassic Park. Who hasn't seen Jurassic Park? Not Jurassic World. Forget about that. Watch Jurassic Park. It's pretty close to a perfect movie. Because the effects hold up well, despite the fact that it's very old. Very old. It's not that old. The tension and escalation is amazing. Concept is great. The source material is actually really good. If you've ever read the Michael Crichton, really a lot of Michael Crichton books are actually pretty good. There's some turds in there, like any. Well, not every author has that, but you know, you just gotta know what you're getting into. Kind of like sci-fi horror type stuff. I don't know. I think his first book that I read was The Andromeda Strain, which was pretty good. I remember being entertained at least, but I was also like in like 8th grade, so I don't know how high the bar was at that point. But anyways, Michael Crichton, been at it for a while, written a lot of books. I don't know if he's like Stephen King prolific, but he has written a lot of books, and Jurassic Park is one of them, I think. Unless I'm just confusing him with someone else, but I'm like 99% sure that Jurassic Park is based on a Michael Crichton book. So read a book for the movie club. The irony. I'm trying to remember if I, Robot was based off a Michael Crichton book. I don't think it was, but for some reason for a second there I thought it might have been. You know that Will Smith movie where he like drives that crazy Audi that was actually a real car, and he wears Converse high tops because they're vintage 2001. It's a classic. You know what strikes me every time I think about that movie though is that there's, spoiler alert, there's a scene where he's like running through this house while a machine is demolishing it, and it's just like eating it alive. Well, a house isn't alive, but it's just like starting from one end and just eating it. And it just makes me laugh whenever I think about that idea that like in the future we will have a machine, like it'll for whatever reason become enough of a problem that there's just houses around and not apartment buildings, that we will have machines that are dedicated just to consume a house. I don't know why that strikes me as funny, but it strikes me as dumb more than anything. That it's like, oh hey, I don't know. I guess it's technically world building and that's good, but it's dumb world building. That movie was not as good as I thought it was when I rewatched it. But it's not as bad as most Will Smith movies. Did you know he was originally gonna be in The Matrix before they cast Keanu Reeves? Or at the very least they wanted him to be the lead because he was like on a hot streak, and I think that would be weird. I feel like he's like too charming to be Neo in The Matrix. You know, you need someone who has like no soul and just portrays indifference very well. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. We have, there's going to be a lot of acrylic peeling, but hopefully this is the most intricate because I have to go around the spaces for all of the keys. So I'm really hoping that everything else goes much faster. But, whoops, there we go. 2 layers down. So now, may I introduce you to the Queen switch. This is a switch by Dang Keebs, and it's a JWK, like every other switch you can imagine. However, what makes it special is, and I'll show you, the fact that the spring is a 3-stage spring. So the spring is in 3 sections that have different weights. I don't exactly know what the section weights are, but what I do know is that you can see them, and I'm hoping that they are either all the same or at least the top and bottom ones are the same, because, yeah, they are. Because I just dumped all the springs in a bag when I was lubing these, and then I realized while I was installing them, oh crap, maybe the springs have a sequential weight to them so that they need to go back in the same orientation they came out, and I did not put them back in any meaningful way. They just right, I just shoved them back in, and they're super long. Like that was weird. Like normally when I lube switches, you know, I'm used to how high the spring is when I put the stem on it, but these were just out to lunch, man. I was impressed. So anyways, but what I've found in just playing with them, like tapping on them and, you know, messing around with them, is that they're very nice and they're smooth and they're linear, like you would expect from a JWK. But they almost have like a feeling of tactility to them with the way that the spring weight changes throughout the course of the switch travel, which I find to be really interesting. So I am hoping that this works out. Well, works out as if it wouldn't, you know, soldering them in wouldn't work. But they have this red hint to them that I think is really cool with this purple. And I eventually will put, I will show you, a keycap set that is going to take forever to get to me, I'm sure. But it is the Melgeek MG Ghost. It's this guy. And I feel like this would look amazing with what I have going on here, which is this like purple and red. So when that group buy gets fulfilled, that'll be rad. For now, I'm just gonna stick either GMK bleached or a Uger XDA like 01 to 1, I think is what it's called, but it's like a white on black set. So having said that, these are actually stuck in the plate well enough that I'm thinking I can do a sound test just to console myself without soldering them. And I will, let's stack that up. That looks really nice. Very cool. Let me grab some keycaps. We have, let's do GMK bleached just for the sound test. Here's the space. I know that I'm a fan of these C3 stabs, and so my expectations are high that they will sound really nice. Come on, what's going on here? There we go. Oh yeah. I think once these layers are all actually squished, it'll be good. Let's try. Yeah. Sounded good. Cool. And one to go. There it I am pleased with that. We take those. So I am going to pull these keycaps off, which may take the switches out, I don't know. And then solder in all my switches. With the double plate installed. Great. We'll lift it off the base. Get the base out of here for now, which includes this guy actually. That down here. Let's grab the soldering iron. Let's get them heated up with the solder station and the fume extractor. Put our switch bin over here. Great. Ooh, I must have melted some plastic on it last time because it's smelling kind of funky. Or maybe its own cable. That's also very likely. All right, got some solder. Okay, let's start with the mods and get them soldered in. And then we'll move on to everybody else. But make sure that they are nice. These are not Franken switches. These ran on a group buy on Dankeebs. And yeah, they're just weird switches. I mean, Franken in the sense that they are bizarre, I suppose. But they have really long 3-stage springs, but other than that, they're just your old classic JWK recolor. So, yeah. Alright. You're gonna hear some extra noise. I got my fume extractor going because I'm not trying to die here. They're called Queen switches. There we go. Got my hand. I don't know if they were inspired by like Queen's Gambit or something. Or maybe like a deck of cards with the black and the red. But they're pretty. And they're translucent enough to let a lot of the light. Yes, they are translucent. Yeah, they look like Tangies for sure. They have like the darkest black stems I've ever seen, which I actually really dig. And then translucent red housings, which are slightly orangier than I was expecting based on the renders, but I'm not mad about it. Queen's Gambit is a great show. I really liked it. Okay, yeah. Yeah, because I feel like Queen's Gambit maybe would be, like, have you seen the guys at Mech Supply who make, like, Dream Eater and Vile Bloom keycap sets? I think the guy's name is Joe. On his Discord, he actually was let me turn this vent off because I want to show you. He was trying to make a set that was inspired by the Queen's Gambit called Green's Gambit or Green Gambit, and it looks really cool. Like his initial render. I don't know. The colors I'm assuming are more like era inspired than like a chess set inspired, but the mods are like chess pieces, and yeah, he's they're discussing chess over here, but yeah, pretty neat set. I'm not the biggest fan of SA profile. Like if I go for tall keycaps, I'll usually go for um, MT3. But that one's really pretty, and I've liked everything that I've gotten from Mech Supply so far. I have DSA Vile Bloom, which I think is gorgeous, and then I have um, the what's it called? Dream Eater, SA Dream Eater, but which I haven't put on a board yet. I'm still trying to decide which board. I was thinking about it for this board, but I couldn't, like, the board's so colorful with the frosted coloring and the LEDs going on that I wanted like a monochrome keycap set of some kind, so either black on white or white on black. Or maybe something like Honeywell where it's like light mods or light alphas with dark mods, but I actually didn't have a set like that available. So I actually think that this PBT Notion would look really nice on this board, but I use it as a daily driver here, so that ain't happening. I'm keeping it. Just gonna get enough of the critical switches in and then solder it up. I think next week I'll be building another GMMK Pro for a client. And I have, if Nobits ever gets another nibble in stock with a black PCB, I'm gonna snag one and build that one for a friend. And then I'm kind of stoked though, because I got a decent amount of stuff coming through for people other than me, which is nice. Not that I mind doing personal builds, but I mean the whole goal of this was to eventually be doing client work, you know? We'll see. I'm still a hobbyist at the end of the day, so I'm sure even if I run out of a backlog of boards to build, I'll pop in every once in a while and build something. Mode 65, interesting. I know there's a lot of hype around the Mode 80, but I did not get one. I do like the GMMK Pro. I did a stream where I tuned it, tried out 3 different switch types on it, and sounded nice. It's if you leave all the foam in that it comes with, it's incredibly quiet. So it actually does really well with silent switches, but it didn't really make the pandas sing like I wanted it to, you know. But the Mode 60, what kind of mount is that? Is it like a gasket with leaf spring type scenario? I can't remember what the Mode 80 was. Gasket. Oh, cool. And stack. Neat. Well, that's cool. Do you know what the price is for that? Because I, for some reason, had it in my head that the Mode 80 was like crazy expensive. But it's possible I was thinking about something else. $400. Okay, yeah, that's about what I was thinking. I mean, to be honest, the longer I've been in this hobby, the more I realize that that's actually a kind of reasonable asking price for 300 is even better. 400 is like pretty standard for like a high-end board, especially one that supports gasket mount. Which is a lot, even if it feels normal. You know, I was realizing something the other day. I just picked up a new laptop. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. The limited ones are brutal. And you know what's even worse is like the vicarage auctions that Key Cult does. I don't know if you've ever experienced one of those. They're wild. I've never heard of it before until I saw that Key Cult was running a vicarage auction, and basically the way it works is that if you didn't know, um, everyone puts in a bid, but they don't know what anyone else is bidding, and then the top, however many people, like say they said, well, we're making 10, then the top 10 people that bid all pay the amount that like the 11th person bid, and they all get to buy it. So there's not actually like a fixed price. It's like it just so happens to be whatever like a high number it is. A lot of times it's smaller than 10, so it'd be like the top 3 people pay what the 4th one bid or something, but it's like it's all blind, so you never know. So I mean, you could put in a bid for like 10,000. Oh, this is just it's kind of like steel wool, but it's to clean the tip of my soldering iron. So sometimes it gets all gunky with kind of toasty solder and solder mask and flux. So just dipping it in this thing helps a lot with keeping the tip clean, so it doesn't start smoking and deteriorating. Because if it starts burning up solder mask, it'll eventually degrade. I think that's all the ones I had installed, so I'm going to probably just put the rest in and do a big old solder up. Let's turn this off. How's the audio? Still kind of janky? I did not. I usually only use flux if I am soldering something really tiny, like a USB-C header or something like that. But typically with a big old through-hole component like a key switch, I don't use it. And there's the solder mask. The fan is off now. I've been having problems all stream with kind of glitchy, chattery audio, so I may just need to restart Streamlabs and see if that fixes it. Maybe I'll do a test stream in the week at some point. I do have a macro pad that a friend brought me to swap the switches out while he's in town, so I might do. I've been thinking it'd be fun to do like a switch replacement speed run and just like see how absolutely quickly I can swap the switches on a 15 key macro pad or like numpad. So we'll see. That might be a good time to get some stuff sorted out. But don't be surprised if you see a test stream. Please ignore coming soon to an interloper near you. Also, I will say, for whatever it's worth, I like Space Cable's website a lot. I mean, that's kind of, I do front-end development for a living, so I do a lot of design work and things like that, but I think their branding and their website's really good. There's some out there that are like, not a fan, but Space Cables for sure. The astronaut head logo is awesome. It's on the corner of this lube station, and I can't even be mad that it takes up a spot where a switch could go, because it's just a great logo, and it looks good on this acrylic. So but yeah, Vickery auctions, they're real weird. I've never even gotten in on one, but like I was saying, ostensibly you could bid like $10,000 to guarantee that you're in like the top three. But if three people happen to do that and it's a two-winner victory, then y'all are paying 10 grand for your keyboard, and so that's the risk. I mean, I might get in one and just put like the absolute maximum I would pay, but that feels kind of pointless because with a key cult product, it's like you know there's people out there who are willing to pay more than me, and there's definitely more than 10 or however many they are selling. So it's like it just feels like kind of pointless, but I don't know. And I don't know that they've ever revealed the numbers on those either, like how much people ended up paying, because I'd be really curious about that. Like, what were the results? Because I know you see some of those key cults popping up on Mech Market for just insane amounts of money, but I don't know that I've ever seen one of the ones that went through a victory doing that, because I feel like those people usually really want to hang on to it. I thought I saw something about that. Yeah, because I watched part of their live stream a while back. Um, that would be interesting. I know they've been upgrading their tooling and some of their machinery to actually be able to produce faster and more efficiently, but it's funny how the more of their stories I've watched on Instagram, the more I'm like, yeah, I get why these are expensive, because you're using stainless steel billets and you're like machining. But yeah, I would hope so that like with the market opening up, if they're going to be making more and more, the pricing should hopefully be able to go down, and just economies of scale. You would think that maybe that the raw pricing would go down too. I'm not sure, but what do I know? Oh, I think I bent a pin on that one. Where's my trusty switch puller? Yes, sir, I did. There we go. Let's do a quick check just to make sure. I don't see any obvious missing pins. No. Looks good. We're clean. Yeah, I know. Dude, I have so much respect for Rama. I mean, if you're hearing this, you should ship my Kara, please. But take your time. I love you. I didn't know how I felt about them at first because the only exposure was just their artisans, and I was like, these are expensive. But then when I realized that they're designing and machining artisans for most GMK sets at fairly reasonable prices, considering how expensive artisans normally are, and that they're making like super cool keyboards. And I think what won me over the most is that after I ordered the Kara, just the level of like openness and transparency that they had about like, we've had a shipping delay here, or whatever. I feel like I've had enough experiences in this keyboard community of people like your group I just doesn't ship, and you pass your date and you've heard nothing from the runner, and you're just like, or your proxy or whoever, and you're just kind of sitting on your thumbs like wondering what's going on. But Rama has always been very upfront, and their build quality is also like key cult level of attention to detail, and it's just pretty. I'm a sucker for a good rounded core, and I feel like a lot of Rama stuff has like rounded edges and rounded bevels, and it's cool. I'm excited for that chess set. Have y'all seen that Rama chess set that's coming out? Speaking of Queen's Gambit, that looks amazing. I feel like it's just like unique enough that it's a cool artisan chess set, but the pieces aren't so weird you could never figure out what they are. That's one of the things that bugs me the most. Like you see like, oh fun, it's a Star Trek chess set, but what is Geordie LaForge? I don't know what piece he is when he's not in his starting position anymore. You know? Is Worf the rook or the knight? I don't know. Okay, we're on row 3 of 5. Once this is done, I will plug it in real quick and test it just to be doubly sure that every solder joint is connected and I did not mess up this PCB. And then all we have to do is finish the assembly and we will have it made in the shade, my friends. Most of the dirty work is done. Alright. Fast row, and it's the fast row because it's got the space bar on it, which takes up over 6 spots and it's already soldered in, so you know. We be moving. Okay. I believe, barring the ever-present possibility that I missed something, we are done with soldering. So let's try our switch hitter again, or our switch tester. Switch hitter is an excellent switch tester program that Streamlabs does not like. RIP. Okay. I'm gonna leave that on actually. Alright. Let's reset this. 1 is not working. Okay. Function key is working. Space is working. Bottom row is working. Middle row is working. E is not working. Okay, so 1 and E. Huh. Well, 1 is not soldered in. That much is obvious. But I don't know what's wrong with E. We may have to go on a diagnostic journey together. Okay. E, my boy. QWE. What is your deal? I know that when I was building this, when I initially tested the PCB, it did work. Let's try it one more time. It is not working. but one is, let us try shorting the E key directly. It does work. So it's the switch that's not working. Or I lifted a pad, but I think it's probably the switch, which is unfortunate. QWE, to be this guy. I'm gonna try to reflow the solder real quick, just to eliminate the possibility that I just somehow mis-soldered it. And then, if that don't work, we will pull the switch. Yep, still does not work. Okay, well, we'll get them out of there. Let me grab the desoldering braid. We may need to resort to the desoldering gun if absolute worst comes to worst. Why is this on? That's better. But I hope not. Alright, QWE, so it is this area here. We'll pull all the solder out of this hole here. Let's turn the fan back on. This actually makes way more fumes than anything else. And then we'll pull the solder out of... What was I going for? QWE, there we go. I still see some in there, so we'll go get some more. Okay. Okay, I think I have it desoldered. Let's find out. I hope that was the right switch. It was, but I think there's a bit of solder left on that top pin. So let's go after that. There it is. Okay. Come on, bud. Hey, we got him. Let's do a quick post-mortem to see what might have happened. Let's open them up. Because I have actually never seen a switch fail. But the leaf looks okay. So let's leave this one aside and let's solder in another one and see what happens. This is very interesting. I'm super curious what on earth is going on. All right, our second E. Now in place. Let us test it out. There it is. Okay, so that was truly a bad switch. Fascinating. Well, done and dusted. It has been replaced. Everything else is confirmed for working. Cool, I can change my volume with these keys. All right, so having said that, we can remove the grubby mat, the soldering iron, the soldering braid. Most of this stuff I do not need. Switches we're done with. tweezers back. This I'm done with. All right. Roll up our boy Grubby Matt. And then we will, I think I'm going to start with these bottom layers so that I have something to like drop this into. Let's also open up this hardware. Now I have alternate hardware, but I think I'm imagining that is in the event that I don't use the foot. So I'm probably going to need to, yes, install the foot on this base plate. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've never had a failure before, like a switch not work. I've had a batch like the kiwis and tangerines that got recalled because all of them were having issues, or at least that's what they said. I have noticed the kiwis are a little bit chattery. But yeah, usually I'll get, if they come in batches of 10, I'll get enough that I have like maybe 2 or 3 extra. So if you're building a 65 that has like 68 keys, I think you could get away with 70, a batch of 7, because then you have space for 2 or 3 failures. But like if you're building a board that has exactly 80 switches, I don't know that I would buy only 80. Having said that, I'm the type of person who always, like, whenever I buy switches, I don't have a project in mind, so I'll buy 110 because worst case scenario, I can do a full-size board. So I just have piles of, like, odd batches of, like, 25 switches here and 30 switches here that I can't really do anything with them. So don't necessarily recommend doing that. Saves money for sure if you're intentional with what you buy. But to each their own. Let me pull up these. I actually haven't even looked at a build guide for this. Let me pull one up real quick. Stellar65 build guide. Just to make sure I'm doing this right. Build guide. Hello. Oh, cool. It's just like an exploded view. Okay, great. Well, I can do that. So yeah, this foot does go on the bottom. With the standoffs. This 6 by M2 6mm screws. And the big ones, oh, those actually are for the corners. Okay. And this says must omit largest foot. Okay, so that's like if you wanted to decrease the typing angle, you would just do 2 of these layers. I see. This is really cool. I thought this was a sticker at first, but I think this is etching. That is amazing. Again, branding is absolutely on point here. You know what's also annoying about switches in general, or just like, keyboards and knowing what you want, is that I feel like switch testers are insufficient. Like I think if you get just one of a switch and it's just in a random grid that's not a keyboard, it's really hard to know if it's what you really want. I feel like the only way to know is to just like populate the full set of alphas on a keyboard and then start typing. At least that was my experience. Like that's how I ended up with a board full of Zelios that I ended up not really liking. and having paid a premium for was like, I don't know, just I don't dig the feel or the sound as much as other tactile switches. I think Kiwis and Holy Pandas are a lot better, and T1s, and I just think Zelios are a little too much. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. It's tough though, because switches are either expensive or hard to get generally. I mean, there's amazing ones like Milky Top Yellows that are available and affordable, and I'm happy about that. But yeah, they are not the most common. That's for sure. All right, so I think I'm gonna put the screws, these short screws, yes, in the bottom. So it's short screws on both sides. Great. One really convenient thing here is that the holes that hold the standoffs are hexagonal like the standoffs themselves, except for the last one, meaning the standoff won't drop all the way through, but then also the hole provides tension on it while you're rotating the screw so that it doesn't just free spin inside. I love that. It's great, great design. I don't think that one caught. Maybe it did. No. Ah. There we go. I don't know how much these are catching, but they are catching because this is not separating. So I'll take what I can get. All right. Then this gets flipped over because we need to make sure that this slot is where the USB-C port will be. And I think I can still use these short screws. I'm a bit concerned that they will not reach, but according to this exploded view, they should. I don't know though, they're just not like fully catching in a way that's convincing me. But I guess if they all are good enough, then it holds? Question mark? Oh. Oh. Okay. They're hex, so I have been using the wrong head. That's why they're not rotating. Bruh. That's ridiculous. Alright, let me grab I have actually a whole set of drivers for this thing. Alright, let's find one that fits. There it is, I think. Is there another? Yeah, I think this should work. Yep. Okay, great. everything should go a lot smoother. Excellent. Sweet. Okay, so that's done. Now I just need to pop the acrylic off, or the paper off these two layers, and then I'll be able to drop in the standoffs at least to hold them. Now, really, maybe I can do that now, because I think these use the short screws on the bottom. At least they shouldn't need the long ones. But maybe I'll wait till I have a second layer because that has that hexagonal cutout on it. So we'll go with that. These should be much faster to peel too. They're very small. Okay. Okay. Let's put in a couple of standoffs. Just to confirm this is slightly larger. Yes, it is. So we'll start with a screw in the bottom and a standoff through the top. And then we will tighten that. And then we'll do the opposite corner. Maybe you do need the long screws. Okay. Because it makes sense. It's a long standoff. All right. This shouldn't go too far into the standoff to prevent it from doing its job on the other side. No. Dude, okay, so I used to have this problem where, and I still do, but my dog's hair gets everywhere, and it kind of drives me crazy. And I know this is not a common or an uncommon problem for someone to have, but I have a Roomba, so in theory, that shouldn't be an issue. But it's a very early generation Roomba, and it's very dumb, like in the sense that it does zero like room mapping or LiDAR or anything like that. So it just drives until it hits something with its bumper. Then it rotates a random number of degrees and then it just drives some more. And so eventually, when its battery gets low, it uses the IR beacon on its docking station to attempt to dock and charge. And I've had it for years, like 5 years or something almost. And it's like destroyed my baseboard. It just got like black smudges all over it, and it's eaten more pairs of headphones, and it'll grab shoes by the shoelaces and drag them around, and it's almost like having another pet. But recently, Roborock was having a sale, and I picked up the Roborock S6 for like under 400 bucks, which is a great price for that thing. And it uses LiDAR to map the house. And so it's incredibly precise in where it drives. It doesn't hit the walls because it knows where they are and it can avoid them. And then it's very efficient. It'll follow a fixed path. So rather than just like randomly bumbling around and maybe getting good coverage of my house, it actually like maps out where it's going to go, and if its battery dies partway through, it'll just go charge some more and then go finish. It's been a game changer. So before, when I would drop like a spring or a screw or something, it would come up covered in hair, even if it was like the day after I had vacuumed. But now it's with the new robot vacuum, it's been so much better. So 10 out of 10 would recommend. It's a massive upgrade, like way more than I ever thought it would be from just like a traditional Roomba. It's great. Maybe Roborock can sponsor me, and I can make their robot do something funny on YouTube or something. I don't know. That would be fun. All right. We have got most standoffs through. Okay, the standoffs are through. So we have our base layers down. Already feeling really solid. Like, I just love polycarbonate builds, so this is kind of like the perfect build for me anyways. Not that this needed any more cards stacked in its favor, because I feel like I was already really on board with it. But we are 3 layers, yes, away being done with the Stellar65, and then we'll do a scuffed sound test, which hopefully sounds good on YouTube. Couldn't tell you. I actually can't even hear my own mic anymore. Let me check if that's even working. Is everything just falling apart here? Very possibly. I don't know. Is it? What? Oh, man. Okay. Weird. My audio driver must be broken on my side then, because I can't even hear the live stream. Oh, I muted it when I was, there we go. Okay, yeah. If you hold function and push some of the mod keys, it like, apparently one of them is mute, so I was thinking I was going crazy. Well, at least there's something. Hopefully the, when I post this on YouTube, at least the sound test will be salvageable. Who knows? All right. Okay. Here's another layer. Great. Then I believe these two, yes. The other hex layer and then the round layer. Excellent. I have noticed that this board has a lot of interesting little cutouts, like this little finger right here, that make it kind of difficult to peel. I am either going to put on the Buger Work XDA white on black set or GMK bleached. I have them both here, and I'm not sure, but I'm leaning towards the white on black. What do you think? White on black or black on white? I can show them to you in a second too. All right. Look at that. Let's get these screws in. I have a similar board to this called the Absinthe that I have the cat milkshake keycap set on, and I think it looks amazing. But I was thinking for this I'd want to do monochrome one way or the other. Oh, bummer. I got lucky and I managed to get extras because I also missed the group buy. But yeah, I would think so. I've noticed that compared to, I also have GMK Hennessy and one other white set that I can't remember all of a sudden, but it's definitely like a cooler white than Hennessy is, at least. Oh, I have the classic blue that has the white alphas, which also is a cooler white, but okay. Yeah, I think we'll start with, I don't know. I'm so torn. I'll pull up pictures of both, because I don't want to take the time to put both on. It took me forever to swap keycaps when I was doing the GMK Pro stream, so we'll put these little feet on here just to keep it from munching up my desk that doesn't have a desk mat. Very nice. Digging it. I'll get this switch out of here. I gotta do an autopsy on that later, see what happened. But that looks good. Okay, so let me show you what we're working with. So the first option is, you know it, you love it, GMK bleached, right? It's a classic. It looks great. The other one is this. Buger work. It's an XDA, so uniform profile. It has some fun kind of novelty mod stuff going on. So yeah, I've got them both here. But let's see, comparing this white to that white versus like the black. I really don't know. I think I'll try the dark one. The Buger. Just because I've had it for a while and I haven't put it on anything yet. So I didn't actually, to be honest, I had never considered buying keycaps on eBay. I don't know why that thought just never occurred to me, because I always look on Mech Market. But I guess that totally makes sense, and it's a valid. Why do I have two identical? Oh! Ooh. Which spacebar should I use? That's a conundrum. I kind of want to go with the one with text on it. This control is not right. Let's do super. I think these are, yeah, these are like space bars for Alice style, which is awesome of them to include. That's another return, but it's smaller, so don't need that. Oh, this is a cool key, but it's ISO, so can't use it. Sorry, bud. This is a massive shift key. I always forget how big that is if you don't have a second one on there. And then the other shift, it's the right size. I think it's a little too small. Backspace. There's the other shift. Cool. Page up. 7. That's a shift I don't need. Interesting. So one of the fun things about this keycap set is that most of the keys can actually be flipped over to be something else, which is a neat touch. I think this is delete and the one above it is insert by default. Like for instance, this key is control, but it's also return. So you get a kind of extra texty kind of aesthetic, but you also have more bang for your buck. I don't know. I just thought that was neat. Oops, I think I'm off by one. Dang it. Right? Because this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. That's better. R, V is an adorable little backspace. There's insert. I just love this layout with the 4 up here and then this over here. I know it's a little less efficient, but I think it looks really cool. I don't need those full size Z's. I think this can be the tilde. I think P is this one. I'm probably going to be wrong on that. J, K. No, that still doesn't work. I need another slightly bigger control. Is this? Oh, there we go. Control. Great. So I don't know. I don't need those. G, I think is DFG. Here. Let's finish out the mods, shall we? I think we need another control. I'm pretty sure what the layout is. I think it's over here. Caps lock. Again, I prefer stepped, but I don't know. This is 180 bucks. Who am I to complain? That's just extra gravy, you know. I think this, perfect. I do need a tab still, which I actually see on the bottom of this control key, and I need another alt, which I see on this code key. See, this is where I might be running into issues. Control, alt, there's alt, here's function, but now I need tab. And this is control, these, here's a function shift. What other options do I have? Function super. I guess I could put this here. It's the right size. I might have already thrown it in here though. Oh, here it is. Tab. It was on the other side of lock. Well. There we go. Okay, now we have all of our mods, except the pipe over here. Where did that guy go? Is it this? Yeah, it is. This just needs to go upside down. That's a weird look. But we'll take it. Cool. All right. I think that's an E. That's an N. ZXCV, B, N. Yes. A. There's the Q. Is this the first time that the Q managed to not be one of the last alphas? Nope. Goes one over. Z. RTYU. X. The other nice thing about this board is that it's E-white, got that on the brain, is that these keycaps are PBT, so they shouldn't get super shiny over time. Okay. I don't know that they have homing keys here. Two. Page down. Up. Right. This other boy. Here's 0. Oh, why would I put 0 there? It goes at the end. 9, 0. This guy goes here. W. Colons. Question mark slash. I actually am really digging how this is coming together. It'll be interesting to see it with all the lights on, because this is a very colorful board. Obviously that's configurable. Don't have to be, but I mean, very cool. Here's a C. Here's a 1. Here's the check it. Here's the Y. This is the first time I've mounted this keycap set, and I received it quite a while ago, so it's possible that I'm missing stuff. Oh, there is a little bit of a homing. Project Keyboard still has the Sirius 60. Interesting. I'll check that out. Thanks for the heads up. I love polycarbonate boards. Or at the very least, I love polycarbonate plates on boards. Let's see. This is supposed to be this guy. And then we need an O, which probably I've been thinking was a 0. And then an H. Where's the H? Here it is. Okay. Cool. I don't know about you, but I like it. Let's plug her in and do a little sound test. Unfortunately, I'm afraid that it's going to sound terrible on Twitch, and I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't at least partially think that maybe the recording that I'm capturing right now is okay. But regardless, look at that RGB. My goodness, let's turn these off so we can get a better look at ya. That's pretty. We are testing the Stellar65. Let's pull up monkey type. Let's adjust this mic. Oh. Okay, I think it's working. All right. Here we go. Oops. Okay, hopefully you heard that, and hopefully my recording software picked that up. But it sounded good. It sounded great to me. It's got a nice kind of chunky spacebar sound. Enter. Backspace sounds really nice. Mods sound good. Good build quality. Like, I don't know. I'm just all around pleased as punch, as the kids say. Really nice underglow. That's something that frosted polycarbonate has in spades. It's got a little bit of kind of like when you're looking at it from this angle, you can definitely see the per key RGB, which it might have maybe been nice to have a full array there so that it's not like spotty like that. But I mean, that's such a minor complaint. It's a beautiful board. Yeah, I'm excited to play with the firmware a little bit too and try to get the RGB controls, because I think it would really look great on like a monochromatic color scheme. But anyways, that's it for me. I apologize again for the audio issues we've been having this stream. Hopefully, if you're watching this on YouTube, it's not present there, and hopefully you could hear that sound test. But other than that, we will be back next week, probably with a GMMK Pro. That's a client build. I may have shipped it out by then. I'm not sure yet, but I have some other stuff in the pipe as well. I have a really cool Alice style, actually a couple Alice style. One's an FR4 like sandwich style PCB plate, and the other one's an stacked acrylic like this. Both of which I'm very excited about. And then yeah, just some other random stuff. Rama Works, please. Please send me my Kara. No pressure. I love you, but please, that'd be awesome. And then yeah, should be hopefully some more client stuff coming too. I will probably try to do a MacroPad speed run sometime in the week, so it won't be like a normal Monday stream, or maybe on the weekend. I'm not sure yet, but anyways, all that to say, I apologize again for the audio, but thank you for sticking it out if you're still here with me, and it means a lot to me that you're here. And I will see y'all next time.